Have you ever said something in another language and only later realized it meant something else? Hi again, I'm Aya, and I want to tell you a funny little story about my first few days living with my host family in America. It started with small talk, and it ended with a big smile and a lesson I'll never forget. After I arrived in the US, the first few days felt like a dream. Everything was new. The house, the voices, the food, even the light outside. Mary, my host mom, was very kind. Emma, her daughter, was cheerful and helpful. They gave me time to rest and unpack. But soon, they wanted to get to know me better, and I wanted the same. So that weekend, we stayed home. No school, no pressure, just time to talk. On Saturday morning, I woke up early. I smelled something good. Pancakes! Mary was in the kitchen. She smiled and said, "Good morning. You slept well." I replied, "Yes, I slept very good." We both laughed. She said, "You can say, 'I slept very well,' but you're close." Then she asked, "What do you usually eat for breakfast in Japan?" I told her about rice, miso soup, grilled fish. She said, "That sounds so healthy. We just go with sugar." Later, we sat in the living room. Emma showed me some photos. "This is my dog, Max," she said. I looked and smiled. "He looked very sleepy?" She laughed. "He's lazy, but we love him." I asked, "What do you do after school?" Emma said, "I like to draw, and sometimes I bake with Mom." Then she asked me, "Do you have brothers or sisters?" I said, "I have one little brother. He is very noisy, like cartoon." They laughed. Mary said, "You have a funny way of describing things. I like that." I felt proud. Even though my grammar wasn't perfect, they understood me. We were really talking. In the afternoon, Mary invited me to walk in the backyard. They had a small garden with flowers and a wooden bench. I said, "It's so quiet here. Not like my home." Mary nodded. "Yes, I love sitting out here. Sometimes I just sit and do nothing." I wanted to say something nice, so I smiled and said, "You look very tired outside." She paused, then laughed. "Do you mean I look relaxed outside?" I blinked. "Oh, yes, not tired, relaxed. Sorry." She smiled again. "It's okay, honey. Words are tricky, right?" I nodded. "Very tricky." Back inside, Emma offered me a cookie. I took one and said, "This is very sweet, like too sweet to eat, but I will eat." Emma looked at me. "Too sweet to eat, but you're eating it?" We both laughed. I said, I complain, but I like it." Emma said, "I do that too. I say, but eat 5 more." I was starting to see something. English didn't have to be perfect to make people laugh or connect. Later that evening, Mary asked, "So, Aya, do you have any dates in Japan?" I paused and blushed. I thought she meant romantic date, so I said, "No, I am too young for date. I don't do date. I am clean girl." Mary and Emma looked surprised, then burst out laughing. Mary said, "I meant, do you eat dates, the fruit?" My eyes went wide. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you mean boyfriend date." Emma said, "You're adorable." I said, "I will never forget this word again." We laughed together for a full minute. That moment, that one small mistake, made us closer than before. That night, as I lay in bed, I thought about the day. I spoke a lot of English. I made grammar mistakes. I mixed up tired and relaxed. I confused date, the fruit, and date, the romantic word. But I laughed with them. I shared with them. And I didn't give up. That's how you learn. By trying, by falling, by laughing, by being brave. A small mistake can feel embarrassing, but sometimes it becomes a big memory, a shared laugh, a closer bond, a lesson in kindness. Mary said something that stayed with me. It's not about perfect English. It's about real connection. And now, I believe that too. Have you ever said something funny by mistake in another language? What happened? Did people laugh? Were they kind? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to follow for more. Thanks for listening today. You make learning English feel less lonely. See you in the next story.